It hurts. It hurts. I'm 98. I'm blind. Yesterday, everything was great. Now, y'all done took my Ark of the Covenant. You killed 30,000 people. And you killed my sons? What's going on is that I told some of you guys I love the Bible because the Bible is funny. People are funny in the Bible. So I was like, let me just do a Bible reading in my own way. Because when I read the Bible to myself, I think it's hilarious. Well, to me. So I'm going to be reading today from 1 Samuel 4, 5, and 6. The plan was to read about David. But I was like, okay, well, I can't understand David if I don't really understand Saul. And I was like, well, I can't understand Saul if I don't understand Samuel, you know? Because Samuel played a huge role in all of this. I said, okay, let me just backtrack and begin to really learn and understand. So today I'm going to be reading 1 Samuel 4, 5, and 6. It's basically talking about the Ark of the Covenant because after all this, Israel is currently fighting the Philistines, you know, and of course, because of this battle, that's how we get David and everything. Backstory. Sorry, this is going to be a short today because I'm just trying to test out the waters and see if I even like doing this, and then that'll help me decide if I want to keep doing it. So, backstory, here's what's going on. Samuel's mom has been unable to have a child, right? She has been unable to have a child, and she's like, God, I want a child. Give me somebody. So what she does is that she starts to pray, and she's like, okay, God, if you give me a child, then I will give him to you. He's going to be yours. And so she's been praying because at this time, her husband has 2 wives. The first wife has all these kids and she has no kids. And the first wife keeps hackling her like, you ain't got no kids. What's wrong with you? I'm out here doing my job as a wife and you're barren. Ha, in your face. So she's like, I cannot be put to shame like this. Like, we all live in the same house and everybody knows all these kids are hers. You need to give me a son. So she gets a son. She names him Samuel. And then she takes Samuel to Eli, and Eli's his prophet. And she's like, you know what, Eli, here's what happens. So she goes to the temple and she is praying, and the Bible says that she's praying so hard that she's crying. She's praying so hard and she's crying like this woman looks crazy. So Eli comes up to her and he's like, what is wrong with you? Why do you look like this? Who cries like this at the temple? Like, you need to leave. What's wrong with you? And she's like, no, I'm praying unto God because I want a son. And he's like, oh, my bad. I know that's what you wanted. So she prays, she gets the son, takes Samuel to go stay with Eli. I wish we could still do that. Have 2 wives. You people don't be sick. So she takes Samuel to Eli and he lives there. So as he's there, Eli's sons are evil. Eli is still, Eli's sons are evil. Eli is this big priest. He's so in touch with God, but he's not checking for his own sons. His sons are literally standing at the front of the church, waiting for women to come into the church so they can seduce them. Can you imagine? You are the leader of this temple, and your sons are standing at the front of the church, trying to seduce women on their way to come and meet God. You know, I know some people like that. Y'all heard of them drummers in church? Oh, brother. Stay away from the drummers. Stay away from anybody in the band. Honestly, just be running. Unless, their mind is actually correct. That's what his sons were doing. His sons would sleep with the women that were coming to pray to God. And then whenever they would come and bring offerings, they would eat it. They would eat. Can you imagine? You have raised this strong and healthy cow because you say, you know what, God, you've been so good to me. I'm going to give you a cow. So you now bring the cow to the temple to sacrifice the cow to God. And then you see these 2 boys come and they take the cow and they eat it. They were eating the offerings. It said sometimes they would wait for the offerings to be burned and then eat it. So they wait for you to grill the meats and then they'll eat it. Sometimes they want to grill it themselves. They don't like the way you seasoned it. So they'll send their servant and come and say, yo, that man came in with a chicken. I like my chicken seasoned with Tony Chachere's. I don't like Maggi on it. So what they would do is they would take the raw chicken from you and then cook it themselves. Mind you, you brought the chicken there to give it to God. So in your heart, you're thinking, oh, I did this wonderful thing. I'm sacrificing my food to God because he blessed me. But what you don't know is that somebody's son is eating it. He's eating it. So obviously, understandably, God was upset. He was upset. And you said, you know what? You know what, Eli? You don't know how to check your kids. I gave you all this blessing. You don't know how to check your kids? No problem. I'm punishing you. I'm punishing your kids. I'm punishing your children's children. All of them punished. You're going to go blind. They're going to die embarrassing deaths. I'm just going to punish everybody because you see your children standing at the gates of my temple, seducing women. They're eating my offering. They're not even seasoning. How will God eat this? The point is not for God to eat the chicken. The point is that it's supposed to be they brought it from me. And your children are eating it and seasoning it. No problem. So now, there's a little break in the Bible, and it talks about how the Philistines are currently at war with Israel. So Israel's fighting the Philistines. And that's where I'm going to read from 1 Samuel 4 and then 6 and a bit of 7, but not full 7. Okay. It says, at the time Israel was at war with the Philistines, the Israelite army was camped near Ebenezer, and the Philistines were at Aphek. The Philistines attacked and defeated the army of Israel, killing 4,000 men. After the battle was over, the troops retreated to their camp, and the elders of Israel asked, why did the Lord allow us to be defeated by the Philistines? Like, we prayed to you, we told you, yo, we need to win this, and you still did not let us win. What's going on? So it says, then they said, let's bring the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord from Shiloh. If we carry it into the battle with us, it'll save us from our enemies. So they're thinking like, yo, the Ark of the Covenant is this powerful thing. It's so powerful. That's God's covenant. It's the Ark of the Covenant. Let's just it's like bringing God into the battle. How can we lose? Like, we're bringing the covenant into the battle. There's no way we can lose. So they sent men to Shiloh to bring the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord of heaven's armies, who is enthroned between the cherubim, who is enthroned between the cherubim. Hophni and Phinehas, the sons of Eli, were also there. So remember the sons of Eli, the troublemakers, seducing women, eating people's offerings. Hophni and Phinehas, the sons of Eli, were also there with the Ark of the Covenant of God. When all the Israelites saw the Ark of the Covenant of the Lord come into the camp, their shout of joy was so loud, it made the ground shake. So they saw this ark and they got so excited. They were like, oh my gosh, the ground is shaking. The ground is shaking because they're so happy. They're like, yes, we're not going to lose this battle. We got God. Like, this Ark of the Covenant is here. There is no way we can lose. So they're shouting. They're so happy. And then the Philistines are the camp like, whoa. We just killed 4,000 of them. Why are they shouting? Why is the ground shaking? Can you imagine? You just got back. You're a soldier. You killed 4,000 Israelites. It's a war. You're winning. You're feeling good about yourself. And then they start shouting. Why are you shouting? I killed you. You should be upset. So they said, what's going on? The Philistines asked. What's all that shouting about in the Hebrew camp? When they were told it was because of the Ark of the Covenant, because the Ark of the Lord had arrived, they panicked. They said, oh my gosh, the gods have come into their camp. They cried, this is a disaster. We have never had to face anything like this before. Help! Who can save us from these mighty gods of Israel? They were the same gods who destroyed the Egyptians with plagues when Israel was in the wilderness. So they're freaking out because they're like, what is this? We're fighting. We've trained. And now they're bringing the Ark of the Covenant. Like, that's unfair. We can't just bring our God into this hoe. Why are you bringing your God? This is unfair. So they're freaking out because they're like, wow, we've gone from fighting Israelites. Now we're fighting God. What's going on? So now this is when they start talking. You know, you try to like hype yourself up before you do something. So now they're hyping themselves up and they're like, fight as never before, Philistines. If you don't, we will become the Hebrew slaves, just as they have been ours. Stand up like men and fight. So they had to come and they were like, yo, 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 I know you're freaking out. I know it's scary. They got the Ark of the Covenant. They're shouting. The ground is shaking. Mind you, we just killed them. This is scary. But don't freak out. Don't freak out. You just need to fight. You need to fight. I'm not on the Philistine side. I'm just saying this is what I pictured happened while all that was going on. They're like, you need to fight. You need to actually fight and go in there. So the Philistines fought desperately, and Israel was defeated again. Can you imagine? 4,000 people. Hold on. The slaughter was great. 30,000 Israelite soldiers died that day. The survivors turned and fled to their tents. The ark of God was captured, and Hophni and Phinehas, the two sons of Eli, were killed. So think about it. They brought the Ark of the Covenant. They're excited because they're like, we got God with us. We got the Ark of the Covenant. I'm excited. Who gonna beat me? I got God with me. Who gonna pop me? None of none of y'all gonna pop me. So they bring it. Philistines are freaking out. Like, no, they did not just bring God into the whole battle. What are we gonna do? And so they get hyped up. They're like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Bring your guy. I don't care. They bring their dude. They defeat them. It's like Tuesday you lose 40,000 men. Wednesday you lose 30,000. 30,000 men. Yikes. Okay. Fine. But then like we had discussed earlier, the two sons of Eli were killed. But they deserved it. Because how are you seducing the women that come into church and then eating people's offerings? Eating people's offerings. Come on. So, yeah, like God had told Eli, he killed their sons. And so now it says, a man from the tribe of Benjamin ran from the battlefield. Because now it's like we brought the Ark of the Covenant. We obeyed everything we're supposed to say. And they killed 30,000 of us. So they took off running because they're like, whoa, if we can't win with the Ark of the Covenant, then what the heck can we do? Like, what are we supposed to do? So the man from the tribe of Benjamin ran from the battlefield and arrived at Shiloh later that same day. He had torn his clothes and put dust on his head to show his grief. I don't know what they were doing back then, but like, it's weird. Like, if you're grieving and I'm grieving, let me show that I'm grieving with you. So I'm gonna tear my clothes and put dust on my head. I know he looked goofy. I just know he did. So, Eli was waiting beside the road to hear the news of the battle, for his heart trembled for the safety of the Ark of God. So Eli has now let them take the Ark of the Covenant. He is shaking because he's like, I told these people I didn't want to let them borrow this thing. They said if they don't take it, and they said that if they don't take it, they're going to lose. So I close my eyes. You know how you let somebody borrow something, but you don't know they're going to give it back to you. Like, you don't know if you really trust them. So, like, it's one thing for me to let you borrow a shirt, but, like, you're borrowing the Ark of the Covenant. Bring it back. It's kind of important. Like, it's the Ark of the Covenant with me and God. Like, I need that back. So he has not been able to sleep. He's sitting by the gates. This man's not even in his house. He's been so worried that he's standing at the door. He's standing at the door like, okay, where is it? So it says, Eli was waiting beside the road to hear the news of the battle, for his heart trembled for the safety of the Ark of God. When the messenger arrived and told what had happened, an outcry resounded throughout the town. So everybody is hearing this and they are crying like, we lost the Ark of the Covenant. Like, how could y'all be so stupid? We gave you the Ark of the Covenant with God to go win this battle. Not only did you lose, but you killed 30,000 men, and the Philistines now got the Ark of the Covenant. Like, how could you? If it were me, I would just move towns. I would honestly just move towns because we're losing. Let me just go stay with the Philistines because now they got the Ark of the Covenant. All of y'all dead. Who's next? Me? No. I'm leaving. I would have taken off. I'm just being honest. So Eli's like, yo, everybody's crying. Everybody's freaking out. What is all this noise about? Eli asked. The messenger rushed over to Eli, who was 98 years old and blind. He's 98. He's blind. I just gave you my Ark of the Covenant. People are crying around me. What is going on? So Um, he said to Eli, I have just come from the battlefield. I was there this very day. I was just there. He said, what happened, my son? Eli demanded. He said, what happened? What happened to my son? What happened to the ark? Spit it out. I've been waiting, but I'm not even sleeping in my house. I'm on the road waiting for you to come tell me what's happened. I'm blind. I don't know what's going on. So he said, Israel has been defeated by the Philistines, the messenger replied. The people have been slaughtered. Not killed. Hi, Daisy. Not killed, but slaughtered. Slaughtered. He said, and your two sons, Hophni and Phinehas, were also killed. And the ark of God has been captured. So this blind 98-year-old man is like, yesterday, everything was fine. Today, 30,000 men. Y'all took the Ark of the Covenant and you kill my sons. So guess what he does? Guess what? I love this part. Guess what he does? He says, when the messenger mentioned what had happened to the Ark of God, Eli fell backward from his seat beside the gate and broke his neck and died. This man, he said when he heard what had happened, he fell back and broke his neck and died. These people are so dramatic. Man said, can you imagine? No, man. Thank you. What? This is... But like, think about it though. It hurts. It hurts. I'm 98. I'm blind. Yesterday, everything was great. Now y'all done took my Ark of the Covenant. You killed 30,000 people and you killed my sons? Let's give up. This is... Well, the funniest thing to me is that he said, okay, and then here's what the... Oh, where in the Bible are we so I can follow along? Okay, so right now I am on 1 Samuel 4, 18. I'm on 1 Samuel 4:18. Suicide is not funny, but mine was real. He just gave up. He said, people took everything. I fell back. Like, can you imagine? He was sitting. They told him, man said, and just died. He just died. But, okay, so when the messenger mentioned what had happened to the Ark of God, Eli fell back from his seat beside the gate. He broke his neck and died. We've gone through that. He said, for he was old. This is the Bible is petty. For he was old and overweight. Why did I have to say that? Why did I have to say he's overweight? Like, why did you have to say he was overweight? Why did you do that? He said, not only have you not mentioned how this man fell back, broke his neck, and died, you not said he was fat. Like, when I tell you Eli messed up, you can't check your sons. Your sons are sleeping with women. Your sons are eating people's offerings. You can't check your sons. And God said, fine, I got you. I'm telling y'all, check your friends. Check your friends before you become Eli. I said, no, but Eli's sons were doing this. So he fell back, broke his neck, and died. And the last thing the Bible says about Eli, he was fat. Who wrote this? Who wrote this? Can you imagine? Can you imagine I do all this for God and the last thing the Bible says about me is that I was fat? He said he was old and overweight. He had been Israel's judge for 40 years. So there you go. Eli, you were Israel's judge. You lived a good life. Eli's daughter-in-law, the wife of Phinehas, was pregnant and near her time of delivery. So now, he didn't go to the gym. He didn't. So now, Eli's daughter has lost her father-in-law, has lost her husband, has lost the Ark of the Covenant. 30,000 people have died. And now I'm pregnant and I'm bringing a child into this world? So come on, do what? What is my child doing in this world? It doesn't make sense. So he said when she heard the Ark of God had been captured and that her father-in-law and husband were dead, she went into labor. So it had so stressed her and pained her that the child said, you know what? Just bring me out. Bring me out. I'm stressed. So she went into labor and gave birth. But she also died in childbirth. What is going on? But what is going on? She died in childbirth, but before she passed away, the midwife tried to encourage her. How can you encourage somebody? I've lost my husband. I've lost my father-in-law. I've lost the Ark of the Covenant. And now I'm about to die. And they're like, but at least you look good, sis. But hey, you're bringing a child. Be encouraged. Like, encouraged about what? What are you trying to encourage me about? And this is how sad she was. The midwives are telling her, don't be afraid. You got a baby boy. Like, congratulations. Like, yeah, you lost your husband. Your husband dead. You lost your father-in-law. You lost the Ark of the Covenant. And you about to die. But at least you're having a boy. Like, congratulations. And said, but she did not answer or pay any attention. But can you blame her? Why would I answer you? What am I encouraged about? She named the child Ichabod. Or Ichabod. First of all, Ichabod. Ichabod. It has ick in it. This woman is disgusted. She names the child Ichabod, which means, where is the glory? This woman is so upset that she gave her child the name that means a question. She was confused. She literally, where is the glory? For she said, Israel's glory is gone. She named him this because the Ark of God had been captured and because her father-in-law and husband were dead. Then she said, the glory has departed from Israel, for the Ark of God has been captured. She is so upset that she names the child, where is the glory? Where is my joy? Where is my happiness? And then she dies. So, Ichabod, nobody's even thinking about Ichabod. Ichabod now has come into the world. Man's is happy, like, hey, was good, earth. I've been in that placenta for the past 9 months now, ready to come out, take on the world. And the first thing, his mother is dead. His father is dead. His grandfather is dead. The Ark of the Covenant has been captured. And 30,000 men have been slaughtered. Welcome to Earth, Ichabod. What's good with you? So, now we're on 1 Samuel 5:1. After the Philistines captured the Ark of God, they took it from the battleground at Ebenezer to the town of Ashdod. This is where things start getting funny. Because the Ark of God, very petty, very petty. Don't play with the Ark of God. Just don't. So they took it. They carried the Ark of God into the temple of Dagon and placed it beside an idol of Dagon. So Dagon is the god of the Philistines. He's the god they worship. They don't worship God. They worship Dagon, which sounds like Dagon, something like that. Okay. But when the citizens of Ashdod went to see it the next morning, Dagon had fallen with his face to the ground in front of the Ark of the Lord. Dagon said, who is this? Who is this? Y'all brought God in here? Y'all brought God in here? He just bowed down. He said, Dagon has been sitting in the temple. He's been ruling, doing his thing. And y'all brought God in here? God? Man's collapsed. Dagon collapsed. And so, but when the citizens of Ashdod went to see it the next morning, Dagon had fallen with his face in front of the Ark of the Lord. So they took Dagon and put him in his place again. No, they're mad. They're mad. They're mad. And put him in his place again. So they said, what is Dagon doing? They put Dagon there. They brought God in. Dagon's upset, like, yo, I was doing well. Why y'all gotta bring God in here? Man's collapsed, bowed down. He said, you know what? No problem. The funny thing, I like the way it's worded. So they put him in his place. They said, Omo, what are you doing? Why are you bowing down to this guy? If you don't stand up and take your place as the god of the Philistines. But Dagon wasn't having it. So they took Dagon and put him in his place again. But the next morning, the same thing happened. Dagon had fallen face down before the Ark of the Lord again. This time, his head and hands had broken off and were lying in the doorway. Only the trunk of his body was left intact. That is why to this day, neither the priest of Dagon nor anyone who enters the temple of Dagon in Ashdod will step on its threshold. So Dagon was like, why did y'all put me back up? You brought God in here. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? He bows down. Not only does he bow down, but he says, hi. Not only does he bow down, but he's like, you know what? I'm not going to let y'all put me back up again. His head is broken off. His limbs are broken off. He said, how I'ma move if I ain't got no arms and no head? You're not going to put me back up again. Because can you imagine? I'm a god. I've been ruling over the Philistines. And they've been worshiping me, giving me offerings. And y'all going to bring the real God in here? To come and do what? So I know my place. He bows down. He listens. And they go and they put him back up. And he's like, yo, stop. Stop. Don't do that. Let me stay where I am. It's God. So he falls down and he breaks all of himself. Because he's like, y'all not going. It's broken. The head is broken. He falls down so hard they cannot put him back together. So then the Lord's heavy hand struck the people of Ashdod, the Philistines, and the nearby villages with a plague of tumors. So now these people are growing tumors in their body because they've captured the Ark of the Covenant. When the people realized what has happened, they cried out, we cannot keep the Ark of the God of Israel here any longer. He is against us. We will all be destroyed along with Dagon, our God. So, can you imagine? So now they're growing tumors. There's a plague. And they're like, you know what? Take it. Take it and go. We don't want the Ark of the Covenant. Not only are we going to be destroyed, but you see what he did to Dagon? And he's like, God, who am I? He going to kill me too. Take them. Take him. Take the Ark of the Covenant and go. So, he says, what should we do? So he is against us. We will all be destroyed with Dagon, our God. So they called together the rulers of the Philistines' towns and said, what should we do with the Ark of Israel? People got tumors. People are dying. There's a plague. And it's all because y'all had to go and get that thing and bring it here. And so now the only God that we worship, Dagon, he has canceled himself. He has canceled himself. So if they're destroying our God, what they going to do to us? What are they going to take it? Go. The rulers discussed it and replied, move it to the town of Gath. So they moved the Ark of God of Israel to Gath. But when the Ark arrived at Gath, the Lord's heavy hand once again fell on its men, young and old. He struck them with the plague of tumors, and there was a great panic. So they were like, no, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. Take him. Take it and go. So now it's gone from that place. It's gone to Gath. They don't want it. They said, go. I don't want this. So when they sent the God to the town of Ekron, people of Gath said, we don't want it. It's killed all our men. Send it to Ekron. They can do something with it. Ekron, but when the people of Ekron saw it coming, they cried out. They are bringing the they are bringing the Ark of God's Israel here to kill us too. Good. So now word is getting out that people are throwing back the Ark of God, the Ark of the Covenant. People are throwing it around and people are dying. There's a plague. So Ekron sees it coming. Ekron sees the Ark of the Covenant coming. And it's like, whoa. No. They have now sent this thing to come and kill us too. No, we do not want it. We do not. I was waiting for you. I was waiting at you at the door. Like, we heard about you. We don't want it. Take it back. So they are bringing the Ark of God of Israel here to kill us too. The people summoned the Philistine rulers again and begged them, please send the Ark of the God of Israel back to its own country, or it will kill us all. We don't want it. We heard about what it's doing to people. We saw y'all bringing it over here to come and kill us. We do not want it. Take it back. They summoned and say, yo, y'all got to take that. You got to take it because it's going to kill us. Look what it did to Dagon. Dagon is our God and he's broken. So me, I'm a small human being with small fragile bones. It's going to break me too. Take it back. I just think it's so funny. They saw it coming and they said, bro, they have brought it to come and kill us. They have now sent it to come and kill us. That's the funniest part to me. They said, no, don't even let it enter. So, for the deadly plague from God had already begun, and a great fear was sweeping across the town. Those who didn't die were afflicted with tumors, and the cry from the town rose to heaven. Right? The Ark, so now okay, sorry. My connection has been going in and out. Okay, so it says, so now I'm on 1 Samuel 6:1. The Ark of God remained in Philistine territory 7 months in all. So for 7 months, they were too stubborn to give the Ark back because they're like, what you mean we just took it from the Philistines? Why would I give it back? I fought hard for this. But also, you're dying. Don't let your stubbornness get in your way. Don't be too stubborn that you really will not get rid of what's doing harm to you because of your own pride. Please do. Pride comes before the fall. These people are dying. People are getting tumors. There's a plague going around, but they're not going to give it back because of their pride. Oh, we fought for this. Why would I give it back? And now look, y'all dead. That's what some of y'all are doing. You're holding on to things that you shouldn't be holding on to because of your pride instead of letting it go. Mind you, you're dying inside. You're not going to die in Jesus' name. But you're dying inside because your pride isn't letting you let go of that stuff. Don't be like the Philistines who are dying, but the pride isn't letting them live. Don't do that. So, now we're on the last chapter, 1 Samuel 6. It says, the ark of the Lord remained in Philistine territory 7 months in all. Then the Philistines called in their priests and diviners and asked them, what should we do about the ark of the Lord? Tell us how to return it to its own country. We're tired. It's been 7 months. People are dying. Y'all don't want to give it back because your pride is too big. You got the ark. Our God is dead. Our children are dead. What are we going to do now? Take it back. Take it back. Like it got to the point where even the villagers called the leaders and they said, y'all need to do something about that because you're next. So it says, send the ark of God, the God of Israel, back with a gift. Oh, hold on. So it says, what should we do about the ark of the Lord? Tell us how to return it to its own country. Verse 3, send the ark of God, of the God of Israel back with a gift, they were told. Send a guilt offering so the plague will stop. I love what it's called, a guilt offering. Like, you ever know when you, like, as a kid, when you did something bad, but you want to apologize but don't know how? You know, so it's like that guilt thing. You just sound like, hey, mommy, like, I feel bad. A guilt offering, like, we're sorry. Dang, we're dead. Take it back. And just to make sure you understand that we're sorry here, it's a guilt offering. So they said, what sort of guilt offering should we send? They asked. And they were told, since the plague has struck both you and your 5 rulers, make 5 gold tumors. Very unoriginal. They're very unoriginal people. They said, you know what? God gave us tumors. Give him back tumors, but make it gold. Solution. Found. It said 5 gold tumors and 5 gold rats. Just like those that have ravaged your land. I don't know what was going on back then, but these people don't know how to give. You did me. Can you imagine? You know what? We need to give God a gift. A guilt gift. What should we give God? Well, he made everybody grow tumors. And he made rats run all over the place. So give him back rats and tumors, but make it gold. These are the people that are giving gifts to God. These are the gifts. Please, if that's how you give gifts, don't give me anything. Just tell me how much you think I'm great and bad, okay? That's what they said. Don't give me any gifts. I don't want it. How can I plague you with something and you give it to me, but then you make it gold? Anyway, said, make these things to show honor to the God of Israel. Perhaps then he will stop afflicting you, your gods, and your land. Now I'm on 1 Samuel 6:6. He said, don't be stubborn and rebellious as Pharaoh and the Egyptians were. By the time God was finished with them, they were eager to let Israel go. Sometimes it's good to remember what has happened to other people. Because if you know the story of Pharaoh and the Egyptians, Moses said, let my people go. And Pharaoh said no. He sent them plagues. He dealt with them seriously, killed all of them. And what happened? They still ended up going. Sometimes as individuals, we make situations worse for ourselves because we don't want to listen. You want to take the hard road and still end up in the same situation. God is saying do this, but you don't want to listen. Instead, you want to take the long road. But the reality is, if God has said it, it's already going to be done anyway. You're going to end up there anyway. Just get it done. Just do it. Otherwise, you're going to end up putting situations in your own path that you shouldn't have to deal with in the first place. You know? So it says, so that's what they're remembering. They're like, you know what? Pharaoh did this. He was like us. He was prideful. He didn't let them go, and they still ended up leaving anyway. But now, Pharaoh is dead. They're all dead. Firstborns are dead. They ain't got no crops. Everything is dead, and God still got the result he wanted anyway. So give it back. And send the tumors and the rats with it. So he said, now build a new cart and find 2 cows that have given birth to calves. Make sure the cows have never been yoked to a cart. Hitch the cows to the cart, but shut their calves away from them in a pen. Put the ark of the Lord on the cart, and beside it place a chest containing the gold rats and gold tumors you are sending as a guilt offering. Then let the cows go wherever they want. If they cross the border of our land and go to Beth Shemesh, we will know it was the Lord who brought this great disaster upon us. If they don't, we will know it was not his hand that caused the plague, and it came simply by chance. So they're saying, do all these things, and then put the cows that are carrying the Ark of the Covenant in the front, and don't direct them. If the cows go straight to where they're supposed to go, Beth Shemesh, then we know that, okay, God did this. But if the cows just wander and do whatever, then it was just all a coincidence, and we just all died because they're not thinking. So these instructions were carried out. 2 cows were hitched to the cart, and their newborn calves were shut up in a pen. Then the ark of the Lord and the chest containing the gold rats and gold tumors were placed on the cart. And sure enough, without veering off in other directions, the cows went straight along the road toward Beth Shemesh, lowering as they went. The Philistine rulers followed them as far as the border of Beth Shemesh. So the rulers said, we're just going to follow you only this far. And we're going to let the cows do their thing. And if they get there, they get there. If they don't, they don't. But we got to stop dying. The people of Beth Shemesh were harvesting wheat in the valley. And when they saw the ark, they were overjoyed. The cart came into the field of a man named Joshua and stopped beside a large rock. So the people broke up the wood of the cart for a fire and killed the cows and sacrificed them to the Lord as a burnt offering. Okay, so what has happened is that the cows have now fought God because they know what they're supposed to do. The cows been known. They said, I'm waiting on y'all. We already know what we're supposed to do. So they go straight to where they're supposed to go. The people who own the ark are happy because they're like, yes, we got the ark back. Mind you, before, those who did not own it were sad. They were like, oh my gosh, the thing has come to plague us. Do you see how sometimes your perception changes based on what you know? Your understanding affects your perception. So because the people of the Philistine people understood what was coming their way, they were upset. They saw the ark in the distance and began to freak out like, oh no, we all about to die. But the people who it belonged to saw it, and they were overjoyed because they were like, yes, what is mine has come back to me. I'm excited. 2 very different reactions, same situation, all based on their perception, their understanding of what belongs to them. Okay. So the cows were hitched to the cart. So it says the people of Beth Shemesh. Where was I? Okay. Several men of the tribe of Levi lifted the ark of the Lord and the chest containing gold rats and gold tumors from the cart and placed them on the large rock. Many sacrifices and burnt offerings were offered to the Lord that day by the people of Beth Shemesh. The 5 Philistine rulers watched all this and then returned to Ekron the same day. The 5 gold tumors sent by the Philistines as a guilt offering to the Lord were gifts from the rulers of Ashdod, Gaza, Ashkelon, Gath, and Ekron. So all the people who tried to keep the ark, weren't listening, and were prideful, ended up what? Giving gifts. They said, here, take it back. And not only are we going to give it back to you, here are some gifts to go with it. Listen, all of my enemies, not only will you return everything you've taken from me, but you will also give me gifts. Period. And amen. So, okay. The five gold rats represented the 5 Philistine towns and their surrounding villages, which were controlled by the 5 rulers. The large rock of Beth Shemesh, where they set the ark of the Lord, still stands in the field of Joshua as a witness to what happened there. Okay, this is our last section, and then we're going to be done. The ark moved to Kereth Jearim. I don't know what that means. I don't know how to say it, but that's what it says. But the Lord killed 17... Okay, so the Lord killed 70 men from Beth Shemesh because they looked into the ark of the Lord. Hi, boo-boo. So, listen, don't let your nosiness get you killed. I've given this to you. Don't do too much. Don't do too much. That's exactly what they did. They did too much. I have now given you this. Here is my gift, and you got nosy and didn't follow instructions. So now you gotta die. You gotta die. Sorry, it's just the way things are. So, And the people mourned greatly because of what the Lord had done. He said, who is able to stand in the presence of the Lord, this holy God? They cried out. Where can we send the ark from here? This is funny to me because they were happy about it, but then they got nosy. And the thing is, the whole point of God giving it to them was so they could take it back and be rejoicing and be happy with what was rightfully theirs. But because they didn't know how to handle it, they turned a good thing into a bad thing. Don't do that to yourself. The gifts that God has given you, don't allow your irresponsibility and your lack of discipline to mess it up for you. Don't do that, because it's exactly what they did. God has given you the ark. You have all these gold things that have been sacrificed to him. There's this joy that everybody else didn't have. But because you didn't know how to handle it, you ruined it. And now you want to blame God, but you're the one who messed it up in the first place. Have that understanding, and I'm hoping they got that. But anyway, so they sent messages to the people of Kereth Jerem and told them, the Philistines have returned the ark of God. Come here and get it. Come and get it. It was supposed to be for our good. We messed it up. Now take it. Take it. We don't want it anymore. So the men of Kereth Jerem came to get the ark of the Lord. They took it to the hillside, home of the Abinadab. Abinadab. Okay, something. What does it say this? Abinadab. And ordained Eleazar, his son, to be in charge of it. The ark remained in Kereth Jerem for a long time, 20 years in all. During that time, all Israel mourned because it seemed the Lord had abandoned them. Okay, so praise the Lord for his reading. That was 1 Samuel 4, 5, and 6. If you've been here since the beginning, great. It's not Bible. But basically, what we learned from that was just, you saw the ark go into different places and affect different people. If you're just joining, we read 1 Samuel 4, 5, and 6. But you saw how it affected all these different people based on their perception and how they handled what God had given them. So the Philistines got it, and their pride messed them up. It messed them up because you've gotten something and you know it's hurting you. You know it's not good for you. But because you're too prideful, you're refusing to give it up. So what do? They kept all that hurt for 7 months. These are people that are suffering, but they instead of letting that suffering go, they held on to it for 7 months because of their pride. It took thousands dying. Rats are eating your food up. There's a plague going on. You got tumors on your forehead. You're not cute no more. That lace front will not lay because you got a tumor right here the size of my fist, and you won't let it go because of your pride. Oh, but we got my battery thing came up. But you won't let it go because of your pride. Like, you got this. So what? If it's not good for you, it's not good for you. And they didn't let it go. And so what happened was, because you have now brought this thing upon yourself because of your pride, it's now affecting everybody else around you. So what was meant to only affect the Philistines is now affecting the rest of the Philistines' villages. Everything is spreading, so much so that they're seeing it and they're getting upset. Because now the Ark of the Covenant, that was this prized thing that put fear in the Philistines in the first place, that made them kill 30,000 Israelites, has now brought so much fear that people are seeing it and they're running and they're becoming upset by it. But then we see this flip up when it goes back to its owners, and the owner's like, great, the Ark of the Covenant is finally returned. But what do? They mess it up themselves because of their inability to handle what God has given them. So God is giving you this great thing. You have all these burnt sacrifices. Everybody else has seen it and they're crying and they're dying, but it's been given to you and it's now a blessing, and you messed it up. You messed it up so bad that you've now given what God has blessed you with away because of your inability to handle what you've been blessed with. Do not allow your lack of, what's it called? Don't allow your pride, your inability to want to learn, your inability to be still and be disciplined ruin what God has given you. And that's what we learned today. So thank you so much for being here, for listening. This is my first time doing this. I may do it some more. I liked it. If you like it, let me know, and I'll do it again, and I'll keep up with it. But yeah, I appreciate all of you that joined, and I will see you later.